There's actually no information on the slate.
Nor is there any information in our videos, so it all makes sense.
Welcome, friends, Romans, countrymen, to our Rowdy.com Big Three, where we're talking NASCAR racing, we're talking the Cobalt Tools 400, we're talking Buzz Cutler, Carl Edwards. My name is Bass Masters.
My name is Buzz Cutler, and I guess
Already said that.
Okay, Carl Edwards is going to be issue number 1. The winner of 3 of your last 5 NASCAR Sprint Cup races. Probably could have won Phoenix if he didn't have some issues. He's your heir apparent, I guess.
I guess so. Too bad the guy's only 3rd in the points. Ran 2nd at Daytona, won the Cobalt Tools 400 at Las Vegas. And the thing that's great about this for Carl is 2 of those 3 wins have come on downforce racetracks. That is the bread and butter of Carl Edwards, the bread and butter of Roush Fenway Racing, and the fact that he was so strong and able to win yesterday's race, I think proves to me that he is what we thought he was, a championship contender this season.
I've been minimizing my my mistakes, and that's been great. I hope we can continue this going forward. It's so hard to run like this. You know, it's so hard to run really well, and even when you do run well, you don't always get what you want.
Don't forget, we're going to Bristol next, a track at which he has won.
Yeah, I think Bristol's a great track for Carl Edwards. Phoenix has become a great track for Carl Edwards. So he's showing what championship contenders show, which is the ability to adapt and get better at different places.
All right, issue number 2 has got to be Tony Stewart. Recorded his first top 5 of 2011. Actually, Stewart-Haas Racing recorded their first joint top 5 since the second Fontana race of last season. But all Mr. Glass Half Empty could worry about is the one that got away.
I don't know what happened on the pit stop there, but we had a miscue and had a penalty and had to go to the back, and you know, unfortunately, it kind of dealt our cards for us.
It did get away. I mean, you're out there to win races, and he had this thing covered. But without that penalty and the problem on the pit stop, forced him to go with 2 tires to get his track position back, and that in turn forced him to go with 4 tires on the final stop of the day when Carl Edwards took 2. That was the difference. I mean, Tony with clean air was going to win that race, and without that penalty, he would have had clean air, and he would have won that race, all things being equal. So, yeah, Tony Stewart's upset that he didn't win a race that he should have won. And bear in mind, he's never won at this racetrack. So it would have been nice to put that in his cap, that feather in his cap.
It would have, but hasn't he been at this game long enough to not get all grumpy and bent out of shape with a second-place finish?
If you run second with a third-place car, you're going to be happy, even if you're Tony Stewart. If you run second with a winning race car, you're going to be upset. And I don't fault Smoke for that at all.
All right, issue number 3. I know some people are going to hate the fact that we're bringing this up, but I don't see how we can't. Danica Patrick on Saturday at the Nationwide race became the highest finishing female driver in the history of NASCAR.
Pretty nice feather in her cap while we're talking about caps and feathers. I mean, this was a woman who was a lap down, got the lucky dog and back on the lead lap, and did something with it.
You know, I had to fight the car a little here and there. It was definitely loose in the middle part of the race, and, you know, it was loose at the end too, but, you know, Tony did a good job of tightening the thing up for the last run.
It's hard when you have the profile that Danica Patrick has to enjoy the luxury of learning at a typical pace, or at a pace that makes sense. And that's what she's given herself the time to do. She's not sort of caving into the pressure of, oh, you have to run all these races, you have to win, you have to lead laps right out of the bat. She is taking the time to learn, and I think it is paying off. We've said from the beginning she's going about this the right way. Is she going to start winning races this season? I don't necessarily think she will, but it's interesting.
Probably not.
In the upcoming issue of NASCAR Illustrated, which is going to hit stands in the next, I think, week or so, Bob Pockris suggests that, you know, maybe if Mark Martin runs a partial schedule at Red Bull next season, Danica Patrick could fill in the other races.
Well, there's a lot of potential for her. At some point, though, she's going to have to make a commitment. But if she wants to dabble and explore and see if she can figure this out, she's showing signs that she can figure it out. Is she going to be sitting in victory lane anytime soon? I don't think so. But that's not really the goal right now. She went out of her way to downplay expectations for Bristol, saying, I just want to finish fewer than 10 laps down. Because it's Bristol.
That's a good goal for Bristol.
It's a good goal for Bristol. I just want to finish the race.
Is Bristol a new track for her?
Bristol's a new track for her. So it's going to be interesting to watch how she handles herself there. She still has so much to learn, but we've seen some encouraging signs. So if you're a fan of Danica doing well, you should be happy. And Junior, too. We'll talk about him tomorrow. That has been your Rowdy.com Big Three for today. My name is Bass Masters. This is Buzz Cutler. We'll see you next time.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.